Hello guys, welcome back to my coverage of RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Today I'm going to be talking about episode 7, and it was the Makeover Challenge. The 4 remaining queens, Baga Chips, Cheryl, Divina Campo, and the Vivienne were all tasked with turning their real-life mothers and sisters into drag queens, and they were looking for a strong drag family resemblance. Another strong episode this season. Normally with the Makeover Challenge, I kind of find it a episode, but with this one, there was laughter, I was getting emotional at one point, and oh my god, there was one moment in this episode where my heart sank. It was awkward, but yeah, more on that later. I love this top 4, and while I was absolutely gutted that we lost Cheryl this week, it left us with arguably the best top 3 of any RuPaul's Drag Race season that there's ever been. I mean, the finale is going to be too close to call, but I'm going to talk more about that later on in this video. But for now, let's talk about the mini challenge and the main challenge. The mini challenge was one of my favorites this week. And why? Because everybody loves puppets. Yep, I love the shady puppet reads. Did anybody else think that Cheryl's puppet of Baga kind of looked a bit like Trixie Mattel from season 7? Was it just me? The Vivienne's impersonation of a Yorkshire Divina Campo just kind of sounded like a diluted version of her Kim Woodburn. But I will say she got Divina Campo's hyena laugh bang on. All the queens did a really good job of making me laugh with this mini challenge. My personal favorite was probably Cheryl's puppet of Baga. Just messy looks, turning on the runway, very, very harsh. And that jab about not letting the words for the lip sync last week. Genius. But it was Divina Campo that won the mini challenge for her puppet version of Cheryl with all the death drops, the Essex accent, the Towie in it, you're right babes, yeah. She's very easy to do, Cheryl Hall. The only thing that was missing from Divina's version of Cheryl Hall was the incessant tongue pops. It would have been nice to see Cheryl Hall win this mini challenge, but at the end of the day, this whole mini challenge was inconsequential. What did Divina Campo win for winning this mini challenge? Nothing. But these episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race UK are an hour long, and they've got to pad the runtime somehow. We'll just bring out some puppets. But then shortly after the mini challenge, RuPaul brought out the family members of the remaining queens. It was so lovely seeing all the mums and sisters come out. They all got so emotional seeing their loved ones. I know that everyone was quick to say that Cheryl and her sister looked so similar, but if you ask me, Baga and her mum were a spitting image of each other. The bag of chips doesn't fall far from the sack of potatoes, does it? Anyway, a strong drag family resemblance is what the judges were looking for in this challenge, but from the get-go, it did seem like this was going to be a challenge which Baga was going to struggle in. She admitted it to Ru, she never painted anybody's face before, and let's face it, her runway looks aren't always the most polished, so having to do someone else's outfit and her own, as well as their makeup and her own, just seemed like a task that she was going to find challenging. Baga was going for the whole Kardashian family resemblance, but instead of it looking like Kris and Kim Kardashian, they looked like Liza Minnelli and Morticia from the Addams Family. But bless Baga's mum Josie for going out there and giving it her best, because it takes guts to go on national TV and let your son put you in drag and go down a runway for a bunch of celebrities. I mean, that's hard enough on the average person, but for someone who's never performed before, I mean, that's huge, so props for her. At one point while I was watching this episode, I thought to myself, ooh, wouldn't it be dramatic if both Baga and the Vivienne were the ones that ended up in the bottom 2? That would be some juicy, emotional, high-stakes telly right there. While they were in the workroom, both Baga and the Vivienne seemed a bit nervous about having to drag up their mums, as opposed to Divina and Cheryl, who had to drag up the sisters, who were of a closer age, easier to show the family resemblance. And yeah, if we had a lip sync between Baga and the Vivienne, this season's version of Thelma and Louise, it would have been brutal to see one of them having to send each other home. I actually thought the top 2 this week might have been Cheryl and Divina, because Cheryl's sister is like a doppelganger, and Divina and her sister Caris just had that instant electricity, which, you know, translates to a runway really well. But in the end, what the Vivienne did with her mother seemed to really resonate with the judges. Personally, I actually thought that Cheryl and her sister, and Divina Campo with her sister, had a better family resemblance than the Vivienne did with her mother. I mean, who am I to judge? I don't know shit about fashion or runways, but I do know what family resemblance is, and if that's what the main critique of the challenge was, I do think that Cheryl and Divina were better, but yeah, didn't work out for Cheryl, did it? But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Who had the best family resemblance? Anyway, it was Divina Campo and her drag sister Delicious Campo who ended up winning the challenge this week, welcoming Divina to the very exclusive 3 Repeater Badges Club. I really enjoyed their runway looks. Their outfits were great. They had the whole trademark Divina Campo red wigs. Their energy was great. The baby bump was a cute touch. And I also love that they just went for it with the whole making it rain on the runway. It was fun. I loved it. I grew up in Yorkshire. I can confirm that is how we do indeed dance on the nightclub. Graceful, but with attitude. Divina and her sister were just having so much fun. It was infectious. I also really love Cheryl and her drag sister Sissy Hole. I really wanted Cheryl to win at least one main challenge. She's such a trier. They looked great. The resemblance was there. It was like Cheryl was looking in some sort of trashy Essex mirror. The makeup and the hair was perfect. But Cheryl made the faux pas of putting both of them in bodysuits, which Michelle read her for. Yeah, a bodysuit is basic, but you know what? It is who Cheryl is. I say good for Cheryl. She knows who she is and she owns that. And for a challenge like this, it made sense. She is, at heart, the Essex girl who loves bodysuits and fringe. It would make sense that someone from her drag family would be in the outfits that she is known for. So even though it was kind of her downfall, I say kudos to Cheryl because at least she stayed true to who she was. I really respect that. Bag of chips though, let's talk about that world-class moment of verbal vomit and diarrhea. That was one of the most painfully awkward critiques of any RuPaul episode ever. I couldn't believe it. Baga kept using her own mother as a scapegoat. She was blaming their runway look on the fact that she'd never painted anybody before and that she had to start with an older canvas. Embarrassing her mum because she's old, and then pointing out the fact that she's shy and a bit awkward. It just makes the situation worse. It's adding petrol to the fire. My heart sank for Baga Chips' mom, and Baga just kept making it worse. I know she was trying to diffuse the situation with good humor because that's just who Baga is, but she was so completely oblivious to her mum's feelings. It seems Baga was the only one that was incapable of feeling what her mother was feeling, because you could tell the judges and all the other queens on the stage were feeling everything that Baga's mum was feeling. There was so much empathy for her that even the Vivienne was saying, oh, shut your gob. Read the room, Baga. It was so hard to watch. For me, it was the most painful moment of the entire series. The lip sync this week was between Cheryl and Baga to Amy Winehouse's Tears Dry on Their Own. I think this was a great choice of song because it showcased a completely different side to both Cheryl Hole and Baga Chips. This wasn't a high-energy death-dropping number. It was a softer, more intimate song, and both Cheryl and Baga really got into the lyrics. They felt the emotion of the song. They really sold it. Baga as well, she really toned it down. She was remarkably restrained, which I really appreciated because she did add her trademark bit of camp to the routine, but she never got to the point where she was being crass. Another solid lip sync this season, but the rule of thumb seemed to apply again with the whole, if you're in the bottom two twice, then it's your time to go. And sadly, this was Cheryl's second time at the bottom, Baga's first. Baga ended up being safe, and we said goodbye to Cheryl. But Cheryl had a fantastic run. I loved her remark on the stage when she said about the worst track record to get to the top 4 ever. She's like, yeah, girl, you own that. And she's fantastic. To Cheryl Hole, up your bum now, babies. We love you, babes. So that leaves us with the closest top 3 ever. Baga Chips, Cheryl Hole, and the Vivienne. This really is anybody's race when you look at the stats. Let's take a look at them. Baga Chips, 3 main challenge wins. Her runway looks haven't been great, but she is arguably the funniest queen. She's been very versatile with all the challenges and has been quite consistent. Next up, Divina de Campo. Again, she's had 3 main challenge wins, except she has never been in the bottom 2. Her runway looks have been strong. She applied herself well to all the challenges, even if her snatch game was a bit meh. And last but not least, we have the Vivienne, who again has also had 3 main challenge wins, and she's been in the bottom once. Her runway looks have been top tier. She has been very determined to win the series, but her pride could be her downfall. Usually the winner of Snatch Game is a good indicator as to who could be victorious. However, it was both Baga and the Vivienne who won Snatch Game this year, which you would think would probably put Divina at a disadvantage. But Divina has never been in the bottom 2, so that says she's more consistent, and I think that sort of levels out the playing field even more. And also the final challenge for the series is a singing and dancing number, as well as a lip sync for the crown, so you can argue that Divina de Campo probably has the best applicable skill set for the final week. Both the Vivienne and Baga have proved that they are good singers, but they aren't known for choreography, whereas Divina de Campo took the reins during the Frock Destroyers challenge and she came up with the choreography, so you would think she probably has the edge there. Now, as for who I want to see win, well, I'll start by saying that I think any one of the 3 queens are worthy winners, okay? This is a super strong top 3. I mean, you don't have to look at those statistics to see how strong it is. But personally, I would pick Divina de Campo to win it because out of the three of them, I think she is the most well-rounded of the three. Her never being in the bottom two illustrates her versatility and how she's applied herself very well to all of the challenges. She's also been a very good competitor over the whole course of the season because she's been very helpful with the other queens. Like, she came up with the choreography for the Frock Destroy episode, so she guided both Blue and Baga to a win that week through all of her work. During the Snatch game, she graciously stepped down when both her and Baga wanted to do Maggie Thatcher, and she even gave Baga her own Maggie Thatcher outfit that she was going to wear, and this ended up costing her that win that week because Baga ended up winning the Snatch game along with the Vivienne. So yeah, she's a very kind and conscientious contender. There's a caring maternal quality to her, which I really love. She's also very well read in LGBTQ issues, so she would be a fantastic ambassador for the RuPaul brand. She's also funny, has great runway looks, and she's the only queen that has a 4.5 octave range and can do the splits in high heels. Woo, girl! Also, she is from West Yorkshire, so I'm a little bit biased. Baga and Vivienne have had that whole storyline running through the season saying that they're gonna run away with the competition, but Divina Campo does provide a sort of underdog narrative as well that the producers can push, so again, that makes it a little bit more juicy, makes the finale a little bit more exciting. But having said all that, I wouldn't be upset if Baga or the Vivienne ended up winning it because they have earned it. Any one of them would be a much deserved winner. I just have a little bit more love for Divina Campo. But as always, that's just my opinion. I would love to hear from you guys. Who do you guys want to see win it, and who do you think should win it? Whatever you guys think, be sure to let your voices be heard in that comment section down below. If you guys are enjoying these vids and want to stay up to date with all my upcoming content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you can find all the info in that video description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time. Up your bum, no babies!